This is what we need.
Yeah, my workload went up from about, I don't know, 70 to 80 hours a week to probably 120. So, yeah, I go to sleep, I wake up, I work, go to sleep, wake up, work, do that 7 days a week. I'll have to do that for a while. No choice. But I think once Twitter is set on the right path, I think it is a much easier thing to manage than SpaceX or Tesla. So, and I mean, I really understand the internet and how to make. So I wrote software. I wrote software personally for 20 years. You know, I was one of the key people behind X.com, which became PayPal. And so I also, like, I'm aware of, like, I know how to make a way better PayPal.
Because you built PayPal.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I mean, with a lot of other people, but there's a product plan I wrote, which I wish I'd kept a copy of in July of 2000, where I thought it would be possible to make the most valuable financial institution in the world. And we're going to execute that plan from 22 years ago, which amazingly no one has done.
Hello and welcome to our channel. Today's video, CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink, Elon Musk, updates about the key reasons why he bought Twitter. And what does he intend to do with it, along with his perspective on online scams and extreme comments on the platform. Musk also reveals the major ways in which Twitter acquisition will change the future of internet. Make sure to stick around to the end of this video where Elon Musk gives a befitting reply to his haters. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications. Let's dive right into the video.
Most people would say, like, you know, given how the market has evolved this year, the price is on the high side.
Right. Right. But that's on base of what it is.
Yes. But in terms of what I think there is a tremendous amount of potential that it will be very difficult to achieve, but I think possible. And I think ultimately it could be one of the most valuable companies in the world.
Elon Musk, the new owner of Twitter and CEO, announced in his first email to the entire company that he'd be terminating the work from home forever policy of the social networking service. Now, according to the email that was obtained by CNBC, Musk wants staff at Twitter to be at a Twitter office for at least 40 hours per week, and he plans to personally approve any alternative arrangements.
I want to be clear, content moderation policies have not changed at Twitter, and it is not okay to engage in hateful conduct on Twitter. We have had, like, actually oddly, like, targeted attacks where temporarily people have been able to put some hate speech on Twitter, but then it's been taken down immediately. So now, part of what I'm trying to achieve with this sort of enabling everyone to be payment verified with Twitter Blue is to try to get as many people payment verified as possible. It's only $8 a month, although for some people that were complaining about that, and these are people who pay more than that for their latte.
I'm going to be one of your Twitter Blue customers.
Thank you. But like it's part of its revenue, part of it is payment authentication. And so if somebody, because there is a huge problem with spam and bots and trolls on Twitter, and organizations trying to manipulate public opinion and just generally making the system worse. And I think that there is an answer to that, which is to get as many regular users of Twitter to be a subscriber for $8 a month. And you'll get a lot more than just a blue check mark for $8 a month, because now we can afford long-form video, long audio, podcasts, and we can also start sharing revenue with content creators, which is essential.
Give them a chance to make money.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so, I mean, right now, if you're on Twitter, you'll see a lot of links posted to YouTube and TikTok, and that's because, at least until now, Twitter has not even given them enough video length to post their video, and then they give the content creators no means of monetizing the video. So we're going to change that rapidly at Twitter. It's going to be transformative. but if we can get enough verified users, and we're going to prioritize Twitter search, replies, mentions by verified users first. And yeah, this is very.
And that's what calls amplified.
Yes. If you're payment verified with a blue checkmark, then you're prioritized. And so this is the point of this is to make crime not to pay, because right now to create a bot on Twitter costs less than a penny. So the cost of crime is so cheap, and that's part of why crime and hateful conduct pays. But if somebody risks losing even $8, it's too expensive to now have 100,000 fake accounts, because they have to spend $800,000 a month.
In addition, he cautioned employees that if considerable subscription money was not generated, the company might not be able to endure the economic crisis. Musk intends to transform the business model of the company so that at least half of its revenue is derived from subscriptions, and the company is less reliant on revenue generated from advertising. However, he stated in the email to the team that he believes Twitter will still be able to make a considerable amount of cash from ads.
Since we're using payment authentication, we're piggybacking on the authentication system of the payment system, and we're also piggybacking off of Apple's authentication system, which is another layer of security. So the net effect will be, over time, that the verified users will pretty much always be at the top of comments and search, and you won't really see. You'll have to scroll far to see the unverified users, which will be the bots and trolls and whatnot. And this is sort of analogous to Google search. Like, if you go to page 8 of Google search, there will be a ton of scams and stuff. Call it page 8, page 9, something like that. But the thing is that Google search results are so good for page 1 that you never go to page 8. Or it's rare. And like the old joke is like,
So if something we don't want to see, it gets pushed way down.
yeah, basically the bad stuff gets pushed way down. And then crime stops paying, and then they stop trying to do all these things.
And we can recruit them as engineers to program for us, crime guys.
Yeah. So, I mean, the joke is like, what's the best place to hide a dead body would be the second page of Google search results. Nobody ever goes there.
Musk's return to office policy for Twitter is quite similar to the one he established earlier this year at Tesla, the electric vehicle manufacturer he owns and operates. On May 31st, he informed Tesla workers that they were required to report for work at least 40 hours per week or resign from their positions. Some Tesla employees who were unable to return to the office right away were informed they would be permitted to continue their work for another several weeks. However, when they did not instantly agree to come back to work, they were told they would get fired instead.
I mean, to be frank, Twitter was having pretty serious revenue challenges and cost challenges before the acquisition talks started. And any company that is dependent on advertising has had a hard time. So if you look at, say, Snap or Google, Facebook, whatnot, they've all had a difficult time with advertising revenue dropping. And Twitter is more currently more vulnerable than they are to advertising, because most of Twitter's advertising is large brand advertising as opposed to direct response. So it's kind of like a much more of a discretionary ad spend than it is for if you can do direct response for a specific product. So then we also recently had a lot of difficulty with activist groups pressuring major advertisers to stop spending money on Twitter. This is despite us doing everything possible to appease them and to make it clear that moderation rules and hateful conduct rules have not changed, and we're continuing to enforce them. A number of major advertisers have stopped spending on Twitter. This doesn't seem right, because we've made no change in our operations at all, and but nonetheless, the activist groups have been successful in causing a massive drop in Twitter advertising revenue, and we've done our absolute best to appease them, and nothing is working. So this is a major concern, and I think this is, frankly, an attack on the First Amendment. Like, if activist groups can pressure advertisers upon which Twitter is fundamentally dependent to, suppress free speech, then that doesn't seem right.
The company culture at Twitter was completely different from that of Musk's electric car and sustainable energy company. In May of 2020, Twitter co-founder and the CEO Jack Dorsey announced to employees that they would be able to work from home forever. This made Twitter one of the first companies to implement such a long-term remote work policy during the COVID pandemic. Dorsey was the one who pushed for Musk to take over the company.
How do we get 80% of the public to join a digital town square and voice their opinion and exchange ideas and maybe once in a while change their minds?
And on occasion.
Yeah, I mean, once in a while.
A significant number of advertisers have put their investment on Twitter on hold until Musk and his team can demonstrate that the social network is able to effectively combat hate speech, online harassment, false accounts, and fraud while they are in charge. A request for comment was sent to Twitter, but the company did not immediately answer.
I don't want them to hate me. But I think the extremists, it's just very difficult to satisfy extremists. So unless you fully buy into whatever their dogma is. So, but I'm confident we can satisfy, 80% of America, 80% of the world, but maybe not the 10% most extreme of either side. And I would count that as a great outcome. And I think it is important to have sort of a digital town square where people feel comfortable talking. And I also think it's like one of the things that's important is to be able to sort of decide what kind of experience you want to have on Twitter, because some people might say, okay, I want if this was a radio station, I want the easy listening, smooth jazz station. Okay, cool. But so you should be able to have that setting for Twitter, and then some people might say no, I want heavy metal thrash. And okay, so now this is going to be sort of, then you don't mind someone saying mean things to you, within the context of the law, and you don't mind engaging in vigorous arguments on Twitter and that kind of thing. But you should be able to kind of pick your preference, and decide if you want sort of full contact battle or do you want no, I just want to look at poppies and flowers and nice landscapes and stuff.
So what are your thoughts about Elon Musk's Twitter acquisition? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.